Welcome, everyone, to the Cosmere Reads for Season 3, Episode 23. Woo!
Yay!
So we're on episode. Is this the piano episode 88?
Is this 88? This is 88.
Here
Nice.
we go. 88 keys.
88 keys, the piano episode.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'll have to bust on my keyboard. It's in my attic.
I feel like Rain Man every time I do that, by the way. It's not like I sit with like a post-it note or something where I'm like tracking the numbers. It's just like every time I like literally like the moment I say it out of my mouth, it's like somehow my brain does the mental gymnastics and it's like, well, it was 85 and then went 86 and now I missed one, so now it's 88. Exactly. It's Pepe Sylvie. Pepe Sylvie.
Wasn't that the him drinking paint episode?
I think so.
No, that was when they got jobs because
they got the jobs in the office. Yeah, and
they were trying to get the benefits
because they had a heart attack.
They were mailmen.
He has a heart attack, and they try to get the health benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Dennis starts taking supplements. But like, they both start taking supplements. Like, I guess it was and like one of them had been just like having crazy diarrhea, and the other one had crap in like days. It's like, I'm operating at maximum efficiency, so like. Nothing's coming out. It's like, oh yeah, I think I'm just flushing my system out. Like they're like,
oh my goodness. That reminds me, season was it 17? I think it's getting ready to start up in like a few months. And I think the first episode is the other half of the crossover episode with Abbott Elementary.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, by the way, watch that crossover episode that's already on Abbott Elementary. Is hilarious. So I can't wait to see it from the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia side.
Yeah.
Because you know it's gonna be hilarious. My only complaint though is there's not enough Dennis.
Woo. Not enough Dennis.
Not enough Dennis.
The Dennis system.
The Dennis system.
Yeah, I need to watch them all. I've only seen like sporadic episodes.
I saw the first few seasons. Like I watched it religiously. Like
it went like up, then it plateaued, and it was like good, and then it kind of fell off just for like a moment, and then it came right back, shooting back up again. So now these last
when it came down a little bit, I stopped watching it, and
which a lot of people did. So I'm not shocked that you're saying that, but it's back. I mean, that last season, I was like thinking, or last few seasons, the one where they went to Ireland, that was like, it had good moments, and it was like a little slow at parts, but they had definitely recovered. So always good stuff there.
I mean, no one's been on that long. So my sailing trip was in 2010. So that's 15 years ago. And that it was long enough ago that when we passed by Dayman Island, every time we saw the map, we'd go, Dayman, whoa!
Fighter of the night,
man.
Whoa! So it's that old.
I love that.
Awesome. Anyway, Big Red Glove. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, that one. Safe hand.
I mean, that's a little too sexy. You can see the silhouette of your hand. You need to be like wearing like a mitt.
That's all I have though on my
too much.
adventure.
Oh, that's right, because you're traveling right now. You only have so much inventory. It's not like you just like have like a safe hand, like
I
carrying bag.
know, I've only got so much to work with.
That's right. Right.
So what's new? What's going on with everybody? It's Londa. You went to Jordan Con, so that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Saw the people, met some new people, saw some new faces. Always good times. Obviously, I was not sleeping enough if I fell asleep in my hotel room and missed a freaking podcast recording. Yeah. Well, my phone died, which didn't help. I mean, my phone died. I was like, oh well.
So even if we called you, it wouldn't have helped.
Yeah, it wouldn't help.
No. Which. I mean, and then I didn't realize too, I had set it to install an Apple update. So not only did I not plug my phone in properly to charge it while I was sleeping, taking a little nap, siesta, then I told it to apply an update, and it wasn't plugged in. I just like the trifecta of just mess up. So
it's all good. It's all good.
20 years. It's since August 2005. That's how long It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has been on.
Oh wow. So just for an update too, my renovation started.
Hey, finally. Only like, I feel like it's almost 6 months later. Because you've been talking about this since like late 2024.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're excited to finally just get it underway, right?
Well, it's moving fast now. Like now they started, like they've already demoed everything. The framing's all up.
Oh, good.
It took 3 days to get like all the framing done. The walls moved. Everything's all, like. It's
good. That's what's up.
So they're moving right along. They're supposed to come today to I guess start the rough-in, but I don't know. It was raining. I don't know if other projects. This is different subs, so it might be a delay because of different subs.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain again right now because I heard a little thunder.
Yeah,
outside.
I saw some lightning.
Okay, yeah, I heard it a little while ago, so I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be bad or not.
Some little thunderstorms coming through. So if we lose power and all of a sudden I just go blank, it's because storms.
That's all right.
Man, Alan, I gotta talk you into a UPS, man, because that's what I have. So it's like if everything goes down, I'll stay up. I mean, I have UPS.
So for internet?
Yeah, I even have one hooked up to my internet, so I can probably stay up for let's say power went out here, I'd be good for another hour. I have to do that because of my job, the nature of my job.
Sure.
So,
yeah. My router would go dead as soon as the power goes out.
Yeah, I mean, but the stuff that I got, if you're ever interested in it, the stuff I got is not expensive.
Okay.
I mean, I
can hotspot real fast, and I have a laptop, so I could get back online.
Theoretically, right. Theoretically. I mean, you would just be doing it by the light of your laptop screen.
I mean, it probably wouldn't be that bad. It's pretty bright.
The soft glow of your laptop.
Soft glow. I got a flashlight. I can put I can get something.
Figure it out.
The flashlight. That's right.
I can figure something out. And then, so Londo had JordanCon trees up in the far north.
I'm up in the wilderness.
The wilderness. Oh, she's up with the caribou.
Like, I think I actually saw a moose on my way up here. So the drive up here was like 15 hours. But on the way up here, I blew a tire, which was really fun to deal with. So it blew about 2 hours away from my destination at 9:00 at night. And it was not dealt with until 3:00 the next afternoon. I did not get that fixed.
So you blew a tire. You do have a spare or did not have a spare?
I had a spare, but my spare was flat.
Okay. Which they typically do, by the way. That's not your fault.
That's
most people's spare tires go flat.
It's just been unless in the trunk you just keep forever, like 12 years. This car is from 2012.
Okay.
So, like 12, 13-year-old tire that has never been used. So anyway, so I had to call a tow truck. But because I was literally in the middle of nowhere on the Trans-Canada Highway, it took 3 hours for a tow truck to come to me.
To find
you. We got towed. The tow truck came, put the tire on, pumped it up a little bit. I was able to drive a bit. Drove to the next town, which was like 10 minutes away. Everything's closed because it's 1:30 in the morning. So I ended up sleeping in my car with a guy that I had just met at my friend's birthday party. And, I was talking to him. We hit it off right away. He's friends with them. So he's not like a complete stranger. He's just like new to me. He's not really doing anything with his life. He's like, I could use some like hard work and like a little bit of an adventure. And I'm like, do I have the job for you? So
let's go build a barn.
Picked him up. I like it because he's just like, screw it, let's go. And like, that's so me. I'm like, that sounds interesting. Let's go do that. I pick him up. So he's stuck with me overnight. This is the second time we've ever hung out in my car, sleepover. But he's like a really good spirit about everything. He's like he didn't freak out. He was totally calm, didn't complain, like that's made everything so much better. I'm glad I had a buddy through all that. Like if I was alone.
Yeah, because I mean being there out in the darkness and the wilderness by yourself, I mean that's when you freak out and panic. But if you got company, you're like
so I had a friend, it was okay. And the reason I'm up here is because another friend from Discord, Abigail, I don't know if anybody listening knows Abigail, but she's been around for a while. So her and her partner bought a piece of land maybe 2 years ago, and they're trying to build on it. So right now it's like literally nothing. Like I spent the first day just scraping bark off of logs that they're going to use to like build a pole barn with. So right now it's literally just logs on the ground that is eventually going to be a building. And some of them are going to be part of a house and some of them are going to be part of a pole barn. There's a mill on the land that she's like making her own lumber and stuff. It's so freaking cool.
And somebody probably thought I was joking when I said barn raising. You're barn raising.
We're barn raising. We are literally barn raising.
Absolutely.
It's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And they have like a couple like of the big machines that he drives around. Like there's an excavator and something else I don't know the name of. We're trying to run power tools off of this little generator to try and like grind the bark off of these huge logs.
Yeah.
I'm sore. I'm tired.
Sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have not worked this hard in ever.
Okay.
But it's
You remind me of
cool
people when I
experience.
used to go do a lot of the Habitat for Humanity.
I used to do those too.
I used to do a lot of those, and there was like a lot of like little. And I'm not talking about you, Trey. I just want to make sure this is not a slight on you, but little waif little girls, and I was like, "Have you ever done physical labor?
Like,
I don't think you're ready for this." And they would be
labor,
destroyed at the end of the day, and I was like, "You are not ready to be picking up like all these pieces of lumber and all this kind of stuff." Yeah, they were like, they were hurting.
It's been a while. Like, it's been at least 2 years since I've actually done anything really physical. So yeah, I'm hurting.
But did you
carry a bridge?
But did you carry a bridge?
Yeah, but did you carry a bridge? That should be the hashtag for the show. But did you carry a bridge?
But did you carry a bridge?
Yeah,
And if I do, I'll let you know. I'm here for 2 weeks, so we'll see how much we get done.
There you go.
There's a bridge building.
Now you have a good pair of gloves, right?
I do. I have a pair of work gloves that are like leather. I've got like my steel-toed reinforced boots. I have a hard hat, which I have a picture of me in my hard hat, and I'm very excited about it because I'm like, look at me in my hard hat. There's the logo.
Wow, look at you.
I know. I look so cool.
For some reason, you in the hard hat with the sunglasses reminds me of Joe Bluth for some reason. I don't know why. Worth development. But yeah, good deal.
It's really
But
cool.
you're like really doing the thing.
Yeah. So I'm excited to like take pictures along the way and like document, because they're literally like the building is those logs on the ground right now. And I want to see by the end of 2 weeks how far we get. And
that's the cool part, though, when you go back and you see like a building and it was like there was nothing there.
Exactly.
And then later you're going to be like, I erected this structure.
Yes, I might not use that word, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad
the correct
word.
word, but I don't know. But anyway, so it's just my friend and her partner, and they just had a brand new baby. So she's still kind of glued to the baby, so she can't really do much. So it's pretty much just
wow.
Right? So they've been really slow at getting stuff done. Which
give that baby a hammer.
I know, right? We're like, why don't you get to start working? She's like 3 months old. It's this tiny little thing.
Train them young.
Yeah, I'm sure she will be, though. That will probably be her life, though.
Oh yeah, exactly. I assume these are the kind of people that are like not going to be like just sitting around like watching the kids like pick up episodes of Yo Gabba Gabba. Yeah. No, this child's going to be like doing some things, right?
Oh yeah,
working hard and all the things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm up to. And that's why, so I'm actually in the baby room right now. They're kind of in the middle of moving. They just rented this place. So like, that's where I am. And there's kind of things everywhere. Like there's a changing table. There's the crib. The baby is in a bassinet in the parents' room right now. And I'm just like, this is my little room while I'm here.
Good deal.
And my friend that I brought has his own other room, which is really great that we both like get our own space. So.
How long are you guys going to be up there? You're going to be for like 2 weeks, you said?
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Well, I'm listening with one ear. I am listening. I hear kids. That's why. Yeah. Fun. Anyway, so if I had to run real fast, Tree, cover for me.
Sure.
Man, we can rip for like a minute. We'll be fine. I mean, if you have to go, shoot, we will ad lib the whole deal. We will yes and our way through it.
Yes,
it sounds like some tough times going on upstairs, but I might have to run for a little bit. But we'll start. Let's chapter 60. Let's start at least with the bitchograph.
Bitchographs.
The death.
I'm happy we're back to. I'm happy we're back to bitchographs.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The death is my life. The strength becomes my weakness. The journey has ended. Dated bananas are 1173, 95 seconds pre-death. Subject was a scholar of minor renown. Sample was collected secondhand, considered questionable. There you go.
So something is said, by the way, in one of these chapters, which sounds like
life. Oh yeah, they say I think it was last chapter was when
I thought it was this chapter where one of these chapters where they talk about they're like, oh, people are saying weird things before they pass away or something.
Yeah, maybe it's this chapter we're talking about. I thought you were talking about.
I was like, oh shit, we're about to like bring things back full circle. And I'm like,
I thought you were talking about the first oaths or whatever that they talked about last chapter.
No. Yeah. I see where you're getting at, but no, it was in these chapters they talk about. Oh, well, we'll get there, but
yeah.
Well, maybe we won't. I don't know if it comes up, but
sure,
we'll see.
All right. So chapter 60, that which we cannot have. And it's all Dalinar. So there's a coming high storm. That's how we're setting the scene. They're in their chambers. Adolin and Dalinar's there. And so is Rhaenyra and Navani. And Navani's there to pretty much take notes and try to figure out what's going on with Dalinar's, high storm visions. And Dalinar's talking to Adolin in the beginning, saying that, he's decided not to abdicate right now. And there's lots of mixed feelings about all this.
But she wasn't there to scribe his vision that he's getting ready to have. That was just luck, right?
That was luck.
She just happened to be.
I know she said she wanted to help in previous chapters.
Because it seemed like he wasn't even expecting. He didn't realize the storm was coming. It was like almost caught him off guard, didn't it?
Yes.
So I'm trying to remember why she was there explicitly this time.
Because she likes Dalinar and she wants to be around him.
Oh,
she has a hots for him.
hey. Shorty been staring and she's like, hey.
Just saying.
How you doing?
Was it before the high storm hit that she was talking about her new fancy
Fabrial?
Yeah.
Yeah, she went on about that.
I want one of those right now.
Yeah, it's a pain reel, which
it has obviously some like weird clasping mechanism in the thing, and I was like, oh, okay.
I kind of pictured it like one of those like head massagers where they are like the metal spikes that go like this, or the head scratcher things. If you know what I'm talking about. But it just like goes on your shoulder or goes on.
Right, it goes around your shoulder and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a grippy.
It sounds like the most elaborate brooch ever.
Yeah.
Like if you really wanted to be like a high class lady. And be like, I've got like a feather or I got something else like attached to my lapel. No, she's like, I got like things on things on things. And, she's so fancy with it.
She's so fancy.
And
that's bedazzle it probably.
Oh, yeah. This thing is bedazzled. It got like all the designs and stuff. Mm-hmm. She's too proud of it. It's got to be looking fancy, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and uses it on his hand, right? To make a pain go away. Has an ache in his hand and... It's got just injects ibuprofen or morphine into his hand. That's pretty much how it works, right?
And she makes it so they all have like different and of course I'm listening to this. I'm getting crystal vibes, right? Oh, this is a crystal that actually makes you poop better or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So she's got like a crystal. She's like got a crystal business basically. That's what I thought about.
Okay,
it, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently there's been a lot of discoveries with a lot of fabrials, and they're working on a bunch of stuff. But they ask about shard plates and shard blades, and they're like, "No, those are different, and we can't really figure those things out either. Like there's something weird about them, and we can't figure out how to make them." But yeah, and and that's when Dalinar's like, maybe the heralds provided them themselves, and that's when the high storm hits. So like. He was thinking on that. He's like, maybe just the heralds did that, and it's just something that we'll never know. And then the high storm hits, and he goes straight to a vision.
And I'm trying to remember, what was the transition? Was it like he stopped hearing them, or something happened?
Yeah, I don't.
Which really, like, it was like that was the moment you could tell it was like almost like the changeover thing that happens in Fight Club, where like.
Yeah,
Ed Norris is, and he's like, and then it's like there's a switch over, and it's like he like passes out, and then wakes up this time. Anyway, something happened in that moment. I'm certain what it was. Anyway, didn't know if you guys can remember, but all right.
Yeah.
Yep. But then he just goes right into the vision. Right.
He goes right into the vision, and he starts talking to this young, regal-looking man. And has no idea who he is at first.
Yeah.
But starts to put some context clues together, and they start talking about the desolation has just ended. And like 90% of the people are dead. It's like he's kind of like just down on himself, like this guy.
Yep.
And I can't remember the exact quote. I'm trying to go through real fast and see if I have it. But he says something, and Dalinar immediately is like, "Wait, Nodon?" He's like, "Who?" He's like, "That's a title.
Right?
That might not be his real name." It's like. It's like meeting Julius Caesar and be like, Caesar? And like, who? Like,
but it's so important that he's well read. I mean, well, I'm going to say well read or understands, the context of what he's been hearing, because that's the reason why he recognizes it instantly. Because otherwise he'd be lost. He'd be like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on. But he used the context clues, and then it's actually the statements that are said, the phrases that are said, and it's like, oh, I know exactly where I'm at. It's like knowing the Gettysburg Address, or something. It's like, oh, I know where I'm at. I know what year I'm
at. Yeah, like Julius Caesar. I guess Julii was his actually surname. Gaius was his first name.
Right, and Caesar is just a title.
It's a title, right?
So
if you had met Julius Caesar before he was Caesar and called him Caesar, he'd probably been like, "Huh?
What?" What? Exactly. It's like, and that's exactly like the way it is in this situation. Yeah. It's like it's the exact same thing. It's like Caesar, and he's like,
"Who?
Sally?"
What?
I don't know what's talking about.
But his real name's been lost in time. He never gives it either. It's just, but it's just an interesting little back and forth.
Right.
He calls him by his name, Carm or whatever, because he believes this is his visor. And they go back and forth on philosophy a lot. And it's really interesting, just like looking at someone at a different stage in their life. Anyway, it's a fascinating.
Before he became like famous and renowned and all this stuff, and to see somebody in a moment of doubt. Right. Imagine if you met someone famous from history that you like really admire. Like Lincoln at the beginning of like the Civil War. Going back to the Gettysburg Address thing.
Going back when he was just a senator. Like when he was a senator from Illinois.
Or even when he was a lawyer and was lambasted because he was an ugly, tall dude with he didn't have a beard back then. And it's like everybody made fun of him and all this kind of stuff. I forget how much stuff I remember from his biography. But it's like he got made fun of relentlessly.
Right.
And then he got into politics and everybody started kind of respecting him a little bit more. But if you met him then, that pre-politics stage, you'd be like, who's this goofy character? And he was a goofy character. Everybody said that about him, so I can see that happening with Noah. Yeah.
I mean, because all you see is his later life works, and that's how you know him as that. I mean, obviously people aren't always that way. So especially when they're younger. Like there are plenty of historical figures that came into their own later.
Right. You just remind me of a part of a Rick and Morty episode when two time cops beat up on Albert Einstein. And he's like, I will break up. He's like, I will something relativity about the relativity thing or whatever. It's like, and so he's like all like nerdy and stuff. He's like, I will break laws or whatever, and yada yada yada. So someone's gonna correct the quote, but
I don't even know. I need more
context. You watch any Rick and Morty? I'm sorry. Do you know?
I watch a little bit. I mean, I've not watched
every episode for that one.
I mean, because it's almost like the whole Michael Trombopoulos thing, and it's like I was trying to remember that name, and I thought somebody was going to have it, nobody had it. And this is the same thing. No. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. It's been too
long.
My
bad for bringing these to your references.
And apparently, there's more episodes that I haven't seen that are out now. So
there's a Pickle Rick episode. That's my favorite one.
Yes, I've seen.
Look at me, Morty! I'm a pickle.
Most people's favorite one is the Pickle Rick.
Yeah.
I'm Pickle
Rick.
Rick.
One of my favorites is the Meeseeks episode.
You see, there's now me and Tree, because I am a huge Meeseeks fan, and then they brought the Meeseeks back for another episode, and I was super hyped about it. So yes, but Meeseeks is like the best.
Okay, cool. I need to go watch more Rick and Morty.
What's the one where he goes back in time to the Oval Office and like just everybody touches him dies, and like he tries to warn everybody that they can't kill him, and they all try to shoot him. They all like all the Secret Service.
That's the one where it's the president. The president asks him to do something, and he doesn't want to do it, and then he like basically teleports there and like train their guns on him and stuff. He was like, "Don't do it! Don't do it! I haven't." And they all shoot at him, and he just like bounces back at him. Just kills him instantly. Yep. He's like, "I told him." Yes,
it's good stuff.
By the way, Keith David, shout out to that guy. Anybody who doesn't know, Keith David is the guy from Community. He played Dr. Facilier in Princess and the Frog. He also is the voice of the president in Rick and Morty, and he has like that booming voice, which, I mean, life goals. I wish I had that voice. And he's the best actor. I mean, all around. So. I like to shout out these guys who are like getting older and have this incredible film career. He was in The Wire. He's been in all kinds of stuff, and he's an amazing dude. So shouting him out.
But back to the book. So Noah Don's contemplating giving up his throne at this point. He's definitely down. He's like, I think I'll give up the throne, and Dalinar's trying to talk him out of it, and he's like, "Well, you're my advisor. Advise me. What should I do?" It's like, "You should write a book on leadership and philosophy." It's like, I should write a book, dude. Half, like 90% of my entire nation just got killed. You tell me to write a book? Like
no, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, 90%.
9 out of 10.
90% of people are dead. And you're like, write a book.
He said what? 9. I'm like, how do you recover from those numbers? 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm like him. I'm like seppuku. You know.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm killing myself because I'm like, I'm a terrible leader and I've destroyed my people essentially. Please, someone else take over. Right. I'm going to go throw myself off of a balcony. I mean, that kind of death that you were like instrumental in, you know, right. Whether is, you know, because of the situation, circumstance, that's terrible. That's terrible. You know, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
This part made me wonder if Dalinar has like influence when he goes back in the past like this. Like, has Dalinar impacted the past?
Tree, I am so glad you bring this up because this was one of those theory times I had been thinking the whole time. And I hadn't said it because I was like, is it quantum leap?
Time
number one, where you jump into somebody's body, do they see you as you or do they see you as the person that they expect to see? So that's been proven that they see you as the person you popped into. That's number one. But the second thing is, I'm like, is he influencing his present going back into the past? This sounds like the Incredible Hulk, what Bruce Banner says in Endgame. Right. You can't impact your future by going to your past because it creates a different path that does not impact your current future. And like, yeah, that's true. So I was wondering this whole time.
Book, if the book already existed, right? So like, the book already existed, but like, is this on like an infinite loop? Like,
is he basically creating his own self-perpetuating prophecy by going back in time and taking the knowledge he has and influencing the past, which is bringing his present to fruition? I don't know. But right now, that's my theory, is that is that he's going back, and him going back is what's creating his present.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know. But again, that's what my theory was. But the quantum leap thing, I mean, I kept thinking this whole time that, is he Hoyd? You know, kind of, where he's like going back and just kind of popping up in places, you know, and he looks like himself and whatever. But I'm like, I don't think it's that situation, obviously. But I really felt like Hoyd vibes this whole time where he was going to
these storms. He might end up being like a world hopper. Like, I don't know.
So I'm just saying that's where I was at. And I hadn't got a chance to really explore that with you guys. But that's been a theory I've had this whole time.
Time traveling Dalinar.
That's a show I watch.
Time traveling Tam's big from the Wheel Reads, so now we have time traveling Dalinar. That sounds good to me. So Noadon scoffs at the idea and says they need action and a sword is needed, which surprises Dalinar because that's everything that not what the Wave King says. So like he's like, you know, like everything as a philosopher that Noadon wrote was about peace and about laying the sword down and using words and logic versus using action and fighting. And he's like, no, the time we need now is the sword. And he's like,
how are you going to write the book for me? You only have one arm.
Yeah, and maybe it's not the same guy.
But the thing is, when he looks down, he sees both. But he sees both of his arms. But I guess anybody that sees him doesn't. So that's really cool too. But
again, it's like quantum leap. You know, like every time that Sam jumped into like a black person and looked in the mirror, it was like, oh man, this is the 50s. Oh shit.
But then Noadon comes back around and is like, well, I'm sorry for scolding you. Like, I did ask for your advice. I shouldn't, you know, just immediately jump on you because you gave it. And he says, you know, I would like peace. That's what I like. And uses the quote, to be human is to want what we cannot have. And he walks off. And just for the end of the vision, Dalinar repeats that statement again. To be human is to want what we cannot have. And that's when the division ends.
And he keeps calling out for the voice that does not answer.
Yes.
Yeah. However, there was a drop there about surge binders.
Yes, there was.
Surge binders.
Yeah, so some alive are still trying to blame the surge binder. Was it Alkavish? Alkavish? Yeah.
but surge binders in general, which he has no idea what that means.
Yes.
And it comes up again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was wondering if that's like what Dalinar's doing or what Sisteth is doing.
Interesting.
I like the fact we got an actual explanation of desolation. And then, of course, it's coming in a few minutes, but yeah.
So wakes up, comes back to present time, and believes that basically these visions are useless because he's like, I mean, I met Noadon in my vision, but this is useless. And Navani cuts him off, goes, no, repeat the last thing you just said. And he's like, he says it again in the regular language. And he goes, that's not what you said in your vision. You were speaking different language, but I recognize it. And she like immediately goes and like says, it's part of the Dawn chant, which is a dead language that no one's ever been able to translate for whatever, thousands of years.
Right.
And they're like, basically Dalinar is a living Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone. That's all I thought the whole time, by the way. Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
He is a living, walking Rosetta Stone. That's pretty much it. In case you didn't know, Rosetta Stone is how we discovered what hieroglyphics
are.
The Egyptian hieroglyphics. We had no idea what they meant.
Because there's 3 languages on that stone, right?
Yeah, Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphics. Yeah,
in hieroglyphics, right?
But we knew enough Sanskrit from other.
Yeah, we could kind of piece together Sanskrit, but the hieroglyphics, nobody had a clue.
And then there's also actually other crazy. There's still a lot of crazy manuscripts that have never been translated even to this day that we have no idea what they are.
Oh hell yeah! Especially the remote ones and stuff. Jeez.
Yeah, like the Voynich manuscript. If you ever look at that one, that's a really fun one.
Yeah. That one actually.
Yeah, so they've never been able to translate any of it.
Yep.
They know it was written. It was on vellum, so they can kind of guess it was around like the Renaissance period when it was written, but it's in a language that no one recognizes, and they've tried to translate it, and they've tried to find a codex for it because I think it might be some code. But it has lots of cool pictures in it of like,
you know what it is? It's Pig Latin. All right, period. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just Pig Latin. Nobody wants to admit it. They're gonna be like, oh, I'm being intellectual, and it's like it's just Pig Latin.
It has really, really pretty pictures in it of like these plants that don't make any sense. Have you heard of this tree? Has lots of pretty pictures. Here, I'll show pictures.
I like pictures.
I'll show you.
Exactly.
There we go.
To be honest, I could space out for a second. I am pretty tired.
There you go. So that's a page. That's one of the pages from it.
Okay.
But the language, they have no idea, but they have all these pictures in it like that where they have no idea what it means, what the text is. So kind of cool.
Maybe somebody was just writing and then they were just doodlers. Like my
and just
grandma
started making
is a
up a
doodler
really
like that, and anytime she takes notes or she's on the phone, she's always like drawing flowers or drawing little scribbles.
It was demotic for the third language on the Rosetta Stone. Okay.
That reminds me of my grandma's notes. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe they mean nothing.
Okay, demotic. It's the a more modern Egyptian language, right? Demotic. So it was Greek.
Oh, it wasn't
Sanskrit. It was demotic Egyptian language.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I remember it being Sanskrit too. So that's the reason why I signed off on what you said, because I thought it was the same thing.
It was ancient Greek hieroglyphics and demotic. Demotic, not demon. Demotic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
interesting.
Cool. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, always. Yeah, correct us, please, and thank you.
Yeah, those doodles meant someone kept their sanity. That's pretty much all it was. Just people doodling to keep their sanity. That's good deal. So we figure out something about this Dawn chant thing, which we don't know, and she tells Dalinar, she's like, I think these visions might actually be real. And she's like, and Dalinar's like, well, this is actually concerning to Dalinar. He's like, I was happy to just kind of dismiss them as just dreams. Like, and I can live with that. Like that it's just some random dreams that I'm having, and that's okay. Right. The fact that they're real now worries him more because it's like, what's happening to me?
It does add a level of paranormal creepiness.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky.
So spooky.
Any other things from this chapter before?
Wait, there was something I said a few minutes ago. I was like, "Oh, we'll bring it up in a few minutes." And
you were talking about the. Was this the part where they did it? There wasn't the words. We were talking about the epigraph, and
right. They talk about that people are dying, and they're starting to say weird things right before they pass away.
Yes,
and I was like, okay, so that's the reason why people are starting to describe what's happening as you die, because it's like you're saying things, and they're notable where you're like, oh, I should jot this down. So I feel like that's the reason why we've got like all these weird obituagraphs now.
Yeah.
It's because of that.
It seems like it's not that completely unheard of thing, because we've had some with just like bridge crew people that have just said it, and the people are like, okay, they're just like doing their death rattle and they just move on. So it's like not completely unheard of, especially with people that are like soldiers who are used to death, right? They just kind of brushed it off.
Yeah.
Right.
But I guess like the scribes are noticing it more and more and
more.
But
it's, I mean, but think about the type of people that we've been hearing about with these obituagraphs, though. It's like just common folk. It's not like kings and princes and stuff.
Soldiers are just common folk too, right? They just.
Well, I'm saying that at some point in time, they felt like it was like not just something where it's like a death rattle of somebody on a battlefield. It's like a nurse or a child and just a common worker, and they were like, "Well, we got to write this thing down because it's something of note."
You're right.
Because I've been paying attention to the professions. Some of the professions are kind of like they're like really basic professions, right? So I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, why would you
know about this?" Right?
Yeah. Why was it noteworthy? You know,
why is a 5-year-old talking about like being trapped somewhere or like having to kill someone or whatever the heck they did, like some traumatic thing that this 5-year-old would. Right. There's no way in heck they've heard about this or lived this life.
Right. But if there's if they're starting to see a pattern now where it's like this is happening a lot more, you would start being like, let's start writing this down and see if we can compare notes and see if we can figure out what's happening here.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Freaky.
So it just seems like they're getting more frequently and more detailed.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yep.
All right. It's chapter 61, Right for Wrong. In the storm I awaken, falling, spinning, grieving. And that was collected 13 seconds pre-death. Subject was a city guardsman.
Right.
So, yeah. So we're still with Dalinar here. It's a couple hours later. And he's sitting with Navani and Renarin. Adolin's left at this point to go check the high storm damage report and do, but he appeared shaken that the visions were real before he left. And this is where Navani and Dalinar should have a conversation just about like why he thinks that's Noadon, the visions, and Dalinar's just like, I don't know it, but I know it's him. Like I can't give you a reason, but like I just know in my bones, it's him.
That's right. That's right.
He just knows.
Yeah.
He dreams and knows things. He's like the Tyrion Lannister of
he drinks.
I drink and he knows things.
He dreams. He dreams and he knows things.
Right.
So let's talk about this little conversation before things get a little more heated. But before they get spicy. Wow. They debate a little bit about the old magic too. So there's a lot of little conversation going on here about some world building stuff that's kind of it's brief, but it's important to note.
Is this the first time we've heard that Dalinar had his memories wiped about his wife?
I think it might be. I don't know if it's flat out said it. I think they've hinted to it a couple times.
Yeah. What do you think? Alando, you'd be the one that would know that better, probably.
No, what? Whether or not he had his memory wiped?
The first time that Dalinar said he had his memory wiped about his wife.
I think it was. Yeah, I think there was enough context clues about it that I didn't really find it surprising.
Yeah.
Because it's like he was. There was times.
Knew, but I didn't know if
there was times he was trying to recall her, and he couldn't recall anything about her.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah, So we knew something happened.
Yeah, but I feel like that came up before.
Yeah.
But of course, like the big story is like, what did he go ask for when he went to?
Well, I think that's what he asked for, but I'm wondering what his.
That's what I think that's pretty obvious. That's what he asked for. I mean, because come on, I mean, that doesn't just happen.
No.
And it's not something that's common. It's not like you can just like go somewhere and be like,
And that's what he's ashamed of. He's like, I'm ashamed I went and got my memories wiped for her. It's
yeah,
like, what would Adolin think? What would Adolin think? What would Renarin think if he
doesn't
knew
it sound like a double curse, though? If that was your ask.
It could be.
Because you're going to ask for something that's going to be granted to you, but then you get a curse along with it.
I don't know. I feel like he might have a different curse.
No, I think he's got it. But what I'm saying is that he has a curse and he had his memory wiped. So basically, he is now. I feel like he's gotten two negatives, and I'm like, why would you ask for that? I'm like,
I'm just wondering what the other negative is.
Who knows? At this point in time, I don't know. But all I can think of every time, I think about the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, like Jim Carrey and I can't remember the lady's name right now. And they get their memories wiped, but they still end up together at the end because it's just like they're just kind of soulmates or whatever. Yeah. So Anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye open for more hints about Dalinar's curse. See if I can figure it out.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something. I can almost guarantee that when we hear it, we're gonna be like, "Well, duh, it's been there the whole time." So I'm trying to pay attention to it when it came up that he actually went. I was like, "Yeah, there's something that's been happening this whole time that I'm not paying attention to. This occurs." But I just don't know what it is.
Lots of sneaky things.
Yeah, so the curse could be that his memory's wiped, but I was like, that sounds kind of like something he asked for, so I don't know if I think that's the thing. I feel like it's too obvious.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what he asked for. I think.
Right, because he wants the pain.
Yeah, and that's what he's ashamed about. Because he's ashamed for asking for that. That's my interpretation.
Which he should be.
Yeah. Yeah, he should be.
Because that is ultimately, people talk about legacy and all that kind of stuff. And when you leave this mortal coil, legacy is memory. It's not about, what you paid for something or whatever. It's about what makes you be remembered. And so I feel like there's a disservice when he especially says, I want to make sure, her memory is wiped. I'm like, well, that's kind of jacked up. Because now that's ruining her legacy.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a problem with that. Because that's what you want, is to be remembered for what you did.
It's it sucks. If it was painful or whatever the reason was, that still sucks to do that, right?
Yeah, it's painful to you, but you keep her memory going on by
exactly.
Talking about all the positive stuff. All the time. I kind of feel like that's jacked up.
He had with her before they had kids, right? His sons will never get to hear those stories.
Yep. So I've got a problem with that.
Screwed up, Dalinar. That was a bad move.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So
sometimes emotional damage can be a lot.
Here he goes. Go ahead, play the
Everyone
clip.
else has to suffer with Dalinar.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to.
You're going to do it, Alan. You did that on purpose. Play the clip. Just go ahead. You you're going to play the clip with the slipper beaten. Go ahead.
I can do the Will Ferrell one instead. The glass case of emotion. They're whole emotional ones.
It's not the same.
He's going to do it, people. He's going to do it.
I'm leaving suspense.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. We'll let you slide for now, but
therapy. That's what he should have done.
He's gonna surprise us with it. He's gonna just throw it in randomly somewhere.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so back to the old magic and all this. So Dalinar, is also disturbed by the fact that the visions are real and just wants to be left alone. So Renarin leaves, but Navani stays.
Ooh.
And Dalinar's like, this isn't appropriate. And she's like,
I don't care.
And he's like,
I don't care.
Why'd you come back to Shattered Plains anyway? And she's like, well, let me tell you. He's not picking up at first. I think he's picking up what she's putting down, but I think he's trying.
No.
He's picking up what he's putting down.
He was picking it up, but he was trying to.
He was trying so hard.
Ladies of the world.
Yeah.
Let's make it really, really clear. He wasn't picking it up,
but he saw it there, and he's like, I see what you're doing. I'm not going to bite the bait.
Ladies of the world. Us guys are so dumb. We are so dumb we cannot tell when we're being flirted with. We cannot tell when you're like into us, you're staring at us, and all the little subtle things that you do because we are dumb, stupid creatures. However, in this instance, I guarantee you a blind man could see what was happening here. All right. Not a problem. He was like, a blind dude was like, oh, I see what she's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so there. I mean,
oh yeah, she laid it on.
I think
my goodness.
Though.
I mean, he was like, let me make sure my guards are around and whatever. And she's like,
exactly.
Closes the door. She's like, let's.
Yeah. She like stuck her foot in that door and said, no. It sounds like she's having a hard time though. I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
And he's trying to be like, so like, I'm gonna be noble and all the things. And
but my brother, he's dead, Dalinar. Together. I'm over him. He was my husband.
But her explanation from her perspective, I mean, that really clues it in. It's like, I mean, he's been so worried about the memory of his brother and whatever, and he didn't realize that she's living in a glass box of emotion. Glass box of emotion. There's your moment, Alan. So anyway, so she's
emotional damage.
There it is.
Yes, switch them up.
So, I mean, I'm gonna tee him up. So she's been dealing with this whole time, and she's like frustrated because it's not like, oh, I came out of this, marriage that wasn't going that well, because she kept trying to like kind of throw shade on the marriage, and he was like, I'm not having it. And so, she's like, okay, fine, I won't talk about that. But she was like, you are the dude that I've been trying to like holler at for forever. And obviously there's chemistry, because I mean she's picking up. She smells the hormones. She's like
Yep.
And
probably has a Fabrielle for that.
She does. So yeah, she's got some smell sprin,
Yeah.
So
some stank sprin, as she said.
Some stank sprin. You know the deal. So, she's and I get it. I mean, at a certain point in time, you get older, and you're like, I don't have time to play no games, and that's the way I am in my life too. I can't stand people that play games. I remember when I was in my dating era, and I, like an idiot, tried to date some younger girls, and they were like, and I was like, I cannot. Playing games and like being coy and all this kind of bull. And I was like, I don't have time for your drama. And I would not call him back, and they would call me like 1,000 times. I was like, no, because you play games, and I don't do that. I don't play games. Bye-bye. It's that kind of thing. And she's at that point, she's like,
the thing is,
married.
Alondo was playing the game, because by not calling, he was just like,
gotcha, bitch.
Okay, I'll take my kudos on that. What I'm trying to do? It's not what I was trying to do, and it was more alluring because I was like not calling them, but I was like, I just don't want to play games, and it's like these girls would be like, oh, I don't know if I'm really serious, blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, fine, got you, bye. And then it was like calls, texts, and all this stuff, and I was like, no, I told you bye. That's not a line. It's like bye. You're done.
Thank you so much. I am done now.
Thank you. And so she is like, I'm done playing games with you. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out here.
I like you. You like me.
Right.
Let's get it on.
Now.
Right. Yeah. Look. Let's talk my safe hand. I want to put my safe hand on you. That kind of thing. She's like,
she touched him with her safe hand. Her naked safe hand.
Ooh.
That was real spicy.
Man, that's that only hands right there.
There you go. Yeah. But they're worrying about the optics, and they're like, obviously,
at some point in time, you got to just say screw the optics, right? Yeah. It's not like, I mean, look, these these guys have got mistresses, and they got all kinds of other things going on. They're sleeping with the servants, and you know this is going on. Anybody who's like, oh no, they're not like that, shut up. I'm telling you, that's happening. They're two consenting single adults. Yeah, the optics are like weird when it comes to the memory of his brother, etc. But they're not doing anything wrong.
I mean, he doesn't have memories of his wife, so it's not like there's anything wrong there.
Look, this guy is having freaking like visions and storms and stuff. I mean, really, what's the worst? Which is the worst of the two? The fact he basically goes into like seizure state during a storm, or the fact that he's actually going to take care of a woman that he actually loves? Come on. It's not even a contest, right? Just make it happen.
Yeah.
You're not getting any younger.
Yep.
However, theory time. It's not going to work out. It's not going to happen.
Really?
They are going to be star-crossed lovers. That's my theory. Okay. They're never going to be happy. No. They're basically going to be the Romeo and Juliet of this story. That's my theory.
No, I hate that. I want them to be Lan and Nynaeve.
Of course you do. I do too. But I'm telling you right now, my theory time never going to happen. Something's going to happen. It's going to keep them apart.
Lan keeps pushing her away.
This is going to be the closest moment they have in this book.
Nope. La la la.
Theory time.
La la la.
I'm just saying, theory time. That's Alondo's theory time. We'll see. Look,
Dalinar's going to be like, I can't do this because I'm a soldier and I have too much responsibilities and my life is on the line and I can't put you through that. And Ivan's going to be like, shut the fuck up. I don't care. I know what I'm getting into. I want to get into it anyway. You don't tell me what to do. And then they're going to be together forever.
Nope, not going to happen. I think they're going to get like really close to embracing and they'll be running across the field together. And then the arrow's going to come through the back of her, like that one scene in Game of Thrones. And it's going to be, she's going to die. Something like that's going to happen. Mark my words, they are not getting together.
We should take a bet. You want to bet?
Let's take a bet. Yes.
We're going to bet on Rock too, because I think Rock's going to live forever and you think he's going to die. And I
Yes. So those are my, yep. So, okay. So this is our bets. And so Tree, I don't know what the wager is. We'll figure out what the wager is. But right now, we have two bets. My bet is Rock is going to die. And my other bet is these two are not going to, now I'm not going to say one of them is going to die, but I guarantee they're not getting together. Not going to happen.
Yeah. And I think they're going to be together forever and ever.
I was going to show.
Rock's going to live forever.
I was going to show.
I just want to pat your head right. Like, oh, she's so sweet.
Listen, I could be optimistic, okay? It's a dark
I know.
world.
I love it. I love it, but I just don't see it.
I need some sunshine.
Hey, good point. You were in the darkness, and you need sunshine.
Exactly.
I'm just not bringing it.
No, you're just bringing more darkness.
Even though my nickname is Sunshine, like literally, it's like on my wall. My nickname has always been Sunshine, but I can't bring sunshine today.
You ever seen that clip of like the little bunny that comes out and like it looks so cute, and then an arrow comes out of nowhere? That's what I feel like Alondo's describing right now.
You're talking about that's a clip from Last of Us. It's like you see this rabbit like
come out.
It's in the snow. It's in the snow, and it's like running around, and all of a sudden. Yep, that's from Last of Us. Yep.
Last of Us. Yes.
Sorry. So sorry, people, but that's the way it's going to work. Now, by the way, just to be clear, I want the idyllic life that Tree is talking about for them. Yes. I want it. I want it hard. I'm like, I want it like
apparently not
so
bad
badly.
enough to manifest it with me. Manifest, Orlando. Manifest.
You trying? It's not. No.
Now, one of them might die. I will accept that one of them might die, but they'll still be together until that moment.
I think they're never going to get an opportunity. They're never going to get an opportunity to consummate their love.
I think it's going to happen like 3 chapters from now.
All right.
3 chapters from now, she's gonna walk. She's gonna be sashaying up to the door. She's gonna be sashaying up to the door.
Don't know if they
and get run over by a horse.
So after their passionate kissing, she tells them that something's wrong in Roshar and that there's been assassination. The king of Yalkaved was killed by an assassin in white.
It's almost like somebody we knew.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like we saw it happen.
He's back. Yeah, I know. We might have seen that in the interludes.
Yes, who's back again.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Yeah. Is that going to be Seth's theme song?
Sure.
If that's Seth's theme song, then it has to. Then Navani's theme song is going to be "Earned It" by The Weeknd. You know, our love would be tragic.
There's so many options.
There's
so many options. I could throw like options on options on options. I got.
What do you call unexpected? Anyway, that's how we end this chapter, though, right? Is it news? There's Assassin White's back.
Right.
Yeah. So, anything else from this before we move to Kaladin acting like a complete insane boss, but at what cost?
I got so many thoughts. Yeah, if I think of something from last chapter, I'll let you know. But we can keep on moving. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah, this
guy.
Right.
So, chapter 62, 3 glyphs. The darkness becomes a palace. Let it rule. Let it rule. A dark-eyed Soleil man of unknown profession. Seconds before pre-death. Yeah. So.
By the way, when I heard 3 glyphs, all I could think of was the 3 seashells from Demolition Man on the toilet. What are the 3 seashells?
That reminds me of the three probes from Idiocracy too.
Nice.
Put this one in your mouth, this one in your ear, and this one in your ass. Oh wait, no, not this one. This one in your mouth. This one in your butt.
They should immediately run to the water fountain afterwards.
It's like trying to watch it. Wait, no, this one in your mouth.
No, you put this one in your mouth. No, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. It switches wallet. This one in your mouth. This one in your
mouth.
No. Jeez. Oh, that movie. Oh, it sucks how much that movie holds up. It sucks how much that movie.
I still can't believe I watched that because you talk about it so much.
Yeah, but it's a great movie. It's because it's so prophetic.
I feel like I lost time in my life that I could have been not watching.
No, because now you will recognize it is our this is our future. Like literally, America is becoming.
I'm gonna be dead way before country. That. I didn't have to live it now.
I'm telling you, a Terry Crews individual is going to become president of the United States.
Comanche.
And I mean, like literally, he's gonna be like, we're gonna turn off water. Everything's gonna be Brondo.
So plants crave. As electrolytes.
Electrolytes. Yeah, it's gonna be that. This is America. This is what's happening.
What is this coming out of the water fountain? He goes, what do you think? He goes, like, why don't you have a drink of water? Like from the toilet bowl?
From the toilet bowl?
Like, why would we do that?
Yeah, squint a lot. Toilet bowl? Toilet bowl? A little slack jaw.
I still, every day when I go to Costco, I still say, welcome to Costco. I love you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
I love you.
Welcome to Costco. You have to have the most disaffected look, too. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
I love you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
I think most of the time I watch a movie like this, like seriously?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
This is what they're always talking about.
And that was Mike Judge too, right?
It was Mike Judge, yeah.
Yeah, same dude did Office Space. I mean, the guy he does such a good job of just living in the moment of these like really inane life choices that we have put ourselves into, like terrible office situations or a life of drudgery. Right, King of the Hill, another example, absolutely, and of course Beavis and Butthead. You know, that was like his thing. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So Kaladin and Bridge 4 are about to go on another bridge run. Or they're not about to. They're on another bridge run. How to start out. And Kaladin's a little nervous because this time he's going to try something new. He has his whole entire his his sack of goodies that he's hiding on top of the bridge that he's going to carry out there that are it's going to be a game changer. And he has a bunch of spheres because he thinks this is going to work. And if you remember,
he's leveling up.
Yeah, he's ready. He's going for it. And he hasn't even told the bridge crew what his plan is. He did this kind of secretly. So, they're finally approaching, and he decides, if they're going to keep on running these bridge runs, he needs to do something more drastic to save his bridge crew. Because if he's running every single one, they're all going to die.
Yeah, they're all
so
really tired, like wibbly wobbly this time too.
Yes, he's like, we have to do something about it. So he's come up with a plan, and this plan started the last episode when he started cutting off pieces of Parshindi's dead Parshindi corpses, and it didn't really get into what his plan was then, but now we get to see it in action. So yeah.
Oh, that was one of the things I was wondering about, Alondo. Like, when that happened last week, what was your initial thought for the plan?
Wait.
Like when he cut the pieces off.
What did I think he was going to be doing with it?
What the plan was going to be, that he was going to use those.
I had no clue.
You're just like here for the journey.
I was like, are you gonna like arm your people? But I was like, you don't have enough armor for everybody, and you don't have enough to like hide space to hide all that. So at the time, I was like, this is really making a lot of sense. But
yeah,
I didn't realize that it's not really to arm himself. It's now just basically an emotional trigger.
Yeah.
So if I had thought about it that way, which I mean, really, all of the foreshadowing for that was there, about how it triggers the Parshindi and everything. But I just didn't. It didn't occur to me at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I was kind of like, this isn't your escape plan because it doesn't make sense. If it was your escape, if it was the escape plan, you need a lot more damn armor. And there's no way you could hide that much armor for how many guys they have in the crew now? 15?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I was like, there's no way. So I was like, I don't know what it is, but it ain't that. So
yeah, Kaladin has some good plans, some bad plans. That's true.
Okay.
So yeah, before they get there, they have a little bit of a skirmish. A soldier comes up and asks for water, and Kaladin's like, "Oh shit, the water's in with the bones." So
this was a scene. That was a gamble, man. I was
Kaladin straight up just went up to the soldier.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch me outside. Oh my goodness, the accent on that little girl. Ooh. Every time I hear it, I'm like,
catch me outside. How about that?
Catch me outside. How about
So yeah, that was Kaladin to the soldier. It was like, yeah, no, we ain't doing this. The soldier tries to start a fight, and then the whole bridge crew gets into formation, which Kaladin's a little worried about this too. Like, why does a bridge crew
they get into a spear fighting formation, which was probably not the best thing for them to do, because now it's giving away that they've been getting trained.
Right.
And that would put you on notice if someone's like, wait a minute, wait, what?
Yeah.
Why are bridge guys over here and friggin'
doing the better formations than the soldiers themselves?
Right, better than the soldiers, right?
Of course. Daddy's soldiers suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you're training and you're stronger as crap, because you're running bridges all the time. I mean, these guys are the soldiers go to battle, but these guys are buffed.
Yeah.
So they're chiseled. They're chiseled. I mean, and they're doing this for miles. But they're carrying a bridge on shoulders for miles.
Yeah.
They're friggin' chiseled. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But surprisingly, even though the soldier backs down, actually gets some nods of approval, from other soldiers. I respect that. No,
they got the head. They got the head nod. They got the.
Mm-hmm.
You know the deal. Yes.
Yep. So, and then so then they get to the final approach, and this is when Kaladin decides to pull out his bag and pulls out his makeshift armor, just so the Parshindi would be like,
he can leap about. Look at the bones.
The bones. Yes.
Try to get the Parshendi to look at the bones. Which they do. They immediately like get angry. They switch their singing tone to like a really frantic, angry singing tone. And yeah.
Well, first they lower their arrow. They lower their bows.
Right.
Because they're like, it's incredulous. They were like getting ready to do the thing, and then he comes out and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And they're like, now we're pissed.
Yeah.
Then you raise them back up again. Ready.
So you have chosen death.
Yup. Yup. They are hell to the pissed. They go from singing their little song to going into a whole different. It's not even a song. They say it's a chant.
It's a chant. Yeah, they're not singing anymore.
Yeah. Like. So they're like on that other level now. It's like you can tell it's like they're like mad. So
yeah, but he pulls up.
He's over here. He's got and then he's gonna break off his matrix skills here. His Neo skills. His bullet time.
Yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pulls in his stormlight and just pulls his shield up, and they all start loosing arrows on him. He gets hit a few times, but he was able to use the stormlight to heal his wounds while he's moving. Right. So able to do his things, and pretty much before he knows it, he's out of stormlight. In the last little bit, he's trying to dodge. He's being hit a few times. Getting kind of roughed up pretty bad, but at this point he notices they're stopped because the bridges are in place and every single bridge has made it through. So the entire army can now cross in force.
That's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Did he say
hardly he saved almost every single bridge crew by doing this.
Every single bridge crew.
Every single bridge crew. Did he say that he magneted the arrows to his shield?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, so at one point in time, he holds the shield up because he's been using it kind of and
it's just covered in arrows.
Yeah.
But then at some point in time, when it's like right when the storm is kind of starting to drain, he notices that it's like he puts the shield up and it's like the arrows are just being funneled into the shield.
What I thought, but I wasn't.
And it's getting heavier. It's getting heavier and heavier as the stormlight's running out because he doesn't have the stormlight strength anymore. He looks down, it's just covered every single arrow from the battlefield is in his shield.
Right.
It's insane.
Yep.
Yeah, but
cool.
Pretty epic fights. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that would definitely. This is definitely one of those moments that if there was some type of animation or live action scene for, this is one of the few ones I would really want to see.
Yeah,
because again, it's like Matrix style, because he's moving faster, he's quicker, he's nearly avoiding stuff. Things are kind of warping around him, the arrows are kind of warping around him because he can, kind of guide them away from him.
That's so cool.
Which of course, what he recognized when he was carrying the bridge and didn't realize that's what's happening when the arrows were coming at him and they were nearly miss. Right. It was that the whole time.
Right.
Things are starting to get really cool.
Yes, absolutely.
So Sadeas then rides up at this point after they've kind of routed a lot of that force and is forced to promote Matal because it's his idea to distract the Parshendi, and it actually worked. And Sadeas is like, you know what? I got to promote you. This is crazy for you to try something like this in battle without going through me first. But you know what? It worked. We got every single bridge down. That actually helps us out a lot. So, and Patel's all pissed off at Kaladin, of course, because he's like, what the hell are you thinking? But then at the same time, he got promoted. He's like, maybe we'll have you do it every time now. So,
yeah. I was wondering about that. If he got promoted, does that mean he's not in charge of the bridge crews anymore? So he can do a different job?
Maybe.
But
or maybe he's in charge of more bridge crews, probably.
Yeah,
because then he said that thing after, so I was like, oh, I guess he's still in charge of bridge crews.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaladin himself is in shock because of using so much stormlight and he's exhausted at this point. And he turns to his bridge forward members like, okay, battle's kind of over at this point, so let's go look for wounded like we always do, and realizes there's not much wounded because no one else is shot at. And while they're kind of distracted talking, Lopin suddenly calls out saying that there's another group of Parshendi that's come around the back end.
He's like, hey, there's these 50 dudes over here. There's these 50 dudes. Yeah, they're trained on us right now.
Are drawn, and they're about to let loose, and
he's on that whole like adrenaline. What do they call that? The adrenaline, not hangover. After you had an adrenaline rush, you basically it's like crash. There you go.
Like shock or something.
He says shock, but all I can think of is adrenaline crash. Anybody who's ever been in a situation where you like have like high adrenaline, afterwards you are depleted. Like you can like barely like stand up. You're like, I'm done. You
collapse.
know? Yeah.
It happens a lot. I mean, you'll see it happen a lot to like marathon runners. The most dangerous part of the marathon is not. It's usually right at the end. You'll see more people collapse at the end because their adrenaline comes off and their body exhaustion, if they weren't properly trained, hits them all like a ton of bricks at once, and literally they collapse at the finish line.
Yeah. Something weird that's always happened to me in those situations is like my jaw like trembles like crazy after I have like a really intense adrenaline rush, and then afterwards like I get that feeling, but then also my jaw will like shake. It's weird.
For me, it's always hand shaking.
Yeah, your hands shake
every single time.
Someone else has something that like shakes.
Yeah, like my hands like shake. Like when I've been in like adrenaline situations where like I've had to use adrenaline to get me through something or whatever, and then afterwards my hands shake for like 30 minutes. It's I just
went back and read.
I'm talking about like hands shaking kind of bad. It's not good. So
I just went back and read chat. Like the Parshendi's looking up like. Is that guy wearing Billy? Is he wearing Billy? Like,
is Billy to that guy? Oh no!
Oh no!
Is that little Timmy? Like,
that's awful.
I don't know. It's like he sees part of a Dark Moon, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon jersey. He's like, that's my friend's jersey. He's got the Dark Side of the Moon joint. Oh man,
he's wearing Timmy.
I'd recognize that shirt anywhere. It's from the Gap. I remember when he got it. Oh man, that's rough.
Oh, that's horrible. Anyway, so these Parshendi archers are trained on them, and there's nowhere to hide. Like, so they're like they don't ever in the run. They're in rage.
By the way, they finished a bridge run, so even Kaladin out of this situation, everybody else is tired too. It's not like he's the only one that's tired. They're all spent, right?
Yeah. So. And right as they think they're about to die, in a flash, jumping over the chasm comes time-traveling Dalinar.
Yeah. Dalinar to the rescue.
That's right.
Crashing through the shard blade and just...
And we've seen how he can mow down armies of people. So they said it was 50. I was like, well, that's going to take him 42 seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially because he has like the long
exactly.
sword. Yeah.
That's like 2 swipes with his giant blade.
You daggone straight. He's like a swipe, you know. And he took their eyes go dead, you know.
Exactly. And Downer turns back and gives a salute back to Bridge 4.
Yes, a salute, really cool. Which, of course, that's a really complicated moment, you know, because Kaladin's like, he just wants to save. Go in here and do his thing to save, not save face, but to get the glory or whatever. Right. It's not really about us, but he did salute us. He's so conflicted. This guy, he's like, I don't want to accept your help. I don't need your help, that kind of thing.
Kaladin's doing everything he can to not like Dalinar.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Because they're all
so is Moash too. Moash is like, damn, why? It's just not because he wanted to.
Yeah, well,
save us. He just wants the glory. Yeah.
They've been screwing around pretty good.
Yeah. But pretty epic fight scene here. And pretty epic strategy. Pretty bold. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, but unfortunately though, they gotta be in this. I mean, but there's a lot of pieces required to make this happen.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I am trepidatious about.
Yeah.
Number one, he's got to have spheres. They got to be infused.
Right. And will it work again? Like the Parshendi, I mean, I know they have their honor thing to do, but like how many times do you do it before the Parshendi are like, okay, we know this trick. Like,
right. I mean,
it's still war. So like,
hell, the strategy they came up with when they joined forces.
Mm-hmm.
Sadeas and Dalinar joined forces.
And then the Persian combat
that worked great, probably a few bridge runs, and then after that, they were like, "Nope, we got your number, dude."
Yep.
So even if they do this, let's say it works 2 more times.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can you prey on somebody's emotions and then be like, "Okay, this is the way I'm going to win this thing," and then figure out that no, this is not going to work. You know, because they'll figure out another way to get. Because if they want to get you, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably banking on it being completely different Parshendi soldiers every time, getting the same reaction.
Yeah.
Now there's should be more
and shock value. I mean, that's the whole thing with shock value. Is like the more and more it becomes commonplace, the less shockful it is. It's like if you look at
back and talk.
If you like the history of like words, like curse words and things like that, the reason why there's always new curse words is because like the old curse words, not like they became less, is they got used so much in commonplace that they became desensitized, and they eventually something else replaces it because no one cares about that word anymore.
You know, it's interesting you say that because I mean, when I was growing up, you couldn't say the word "damn" on public television.
Right.
The word "damn," nope, not going to happen. I remember, and then South Park was the first ones that actually.
One of the 7 words from George Carlin was "piss." You couldn't say "piss."
Right, you couldn't say "piss." You couldn't say "piss" on TV. You couldn't say and shit. The only reason why shit is now acceptable on TV is because of South Park. South Park had a whole episode. It was called like the shit episode, or whatever it was, and they said it like 142 times.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, well now you can say shit on TV.
Yeah,
you know.
Once
crap was actually pretty close there. You know, it's like you just desensitized to it.
Yeah, it was a really bad
crap
word.
Was like another one. You couldn't say crap on TV. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's
B word, bitch, you couldn't say that on TV. Yeah. Back in the day. Now you can actually say it on freaking like regular TV now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, shoot. You couldn't do that.
So I mean over time things do desensitize. It has to do with how commonly it's used, and then also the phraseology. I was watching something about like the evolution of curse words. It was actually a linguistics thing I was watching YouTube, which fascinates me. But they're actually talking about the word "fuck," for example, like how even that has got less offensive over time because of the different implications of it. It doesn't have the same meaning as it used to. Like if someone says "WTF," that's not like you probably still won't say it for your grandma, but like that's not offensive. Like
Yep. And that's what's going to happen with this. I mean, they're going to be like annoyed and offended by it. And then eventually going to be like, well, now we'll figure out a way not to let it get to us emotionally. And then we'll figure out some other way to handle it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And then that'll be the end of that. So I think it's a dumb strategy to like say, well, we're going to like do this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't know if these commanders are necessarily the best and most wisest people in the entire world, but that tends to be
they
true
are
in
all
history
playing by the seat of their pants. We know that.
Yeah,
right?
but it seems to be true in history, like where like the innovative commander is always the one that ends up winning the war, where the people are like, oh, this works once, let's do it again and again and again. And then they lose. Like, well, it worked that one time really, really well. So I don't see why we're losing now. Well, because they're doing the same thing and they know how to defeat it now. Like I mean, you go to sports. If you run the same play over and over again, you'll never win. I mean, you'll win that first game because it's the first time you ever ran that play. But if that's the only play you got,
yeah,
you're not going to win. We can watch
the British, just like the British marching into battle in lines.
Yeah,
uniform lines, and it's like, okay, well, that's easy to shoot.
Yeah,
and then they're like, of course, us Americans are basically, they didn't call it that back in the day. But it was guerrilla warfare. We were like doing guerrilla warfare.
So
we were like they're picking them off, and they were like, "Oh no, what do we do?"
What really broke down that was innovation too. So when you had the smoothbore musket, the accuracy was extremely horrible. I mean, like you couldn't hit the side of a barn from 30 yards away. I mean, by luck. I mean, just it came out at all different angles, and that's why they would line up and do it that way. But then there was a invention that happened around the time of the Civil War, a little before, but it was the first time it was actually used, which was called the rifled barrel. And the first Battle of Manassas, the Battle of Bull Run, they lined up just like old times, and it was one of the most bloodiest battles of the Civil War because they all took aim 30 yards away with rifles, and whereas a few bullets would hit before, everyone hit.
Yep.
So like both sides, just complete carnage.
Because the musket was not a very effective weapon.
It was.
I mean,
That's why you had to pick the people
even when you got hit by a musket, you would survive.
Right.
Because it was a spray. It was a spray of shot, essentially. So
but once they invented the rifled barrel and the accuracy went way up, that was a game changer. And it ended up it was the first Bull Run or the Battle of Manassas in Virginia. They actually said like the nobles came out to the higher class came out to picnic and watch the battle.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah,
and people ended up throwing up. People used to were actually thrown out in the battle because of how much carnage there was in front of them. Like it was just
because it was like watching a reenactment. And these guys came out in their Sunday best. They're like got like finger sandwiches and shit, sitting up on a freaking hill, like just we're gonna come out and watch the battle. And they like people are like getting like their heads blown off and like, oh god, this is not the party I signed up for.
Yeah,
no.
And strategies changed really fast after that.
Yeah. Like, I remember when war was fun. It was a spectator sport.
Yeah, it's fun unless you're the one being spectated, I guess.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
So that's how we end this chapter though, is them gonna go on all the bridge runs now with the new strategy and Dalinar give them some props even though they don't really believe it. Because damn light eyes.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
So keep your fake kudos for yourself. Keep them to yourself.
Yeah. So anything we missed or anything else you guys wanted to cover on this?
I don't understand what Syl was doing.
Was Syl even
like
in this
running?
chapter?
She was running.
She was like in front of him, and I don't know what she was doing. I don't know what her purpose was. What was it she accomplished? I didn't get it, and so I figured I would ask her on this podcast because it's like he was like ready, Syl or something or other, and then she like flies.
So I think he thinks that the power comes from her. So I guess that's because remember he has that like he has that
there's a whole symbiotic thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But so I guess so he thinks that the only way he can actually absorb the spheres is to have her around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Somebody asked the reason why. Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't get that. Yeah. So thank you for clarifying.
Maybe he thinks he like channels the power. Like she's like
she's the thing that enables that. I mean, because it does sound like there's something about their symbiotic relationship that makes something happen, but I don't know what it is.
It makes me wonder if Seth has his friend. We haven't seen him with one or talk about one yet. And like if he doesn't have one, then he can do all this stuff without one.
Yeah.
So
that's the reason why I don't understand why why Kaladin needs one.
I don't know. I'm making lots of connections between those two. Like,
oh no, I'm definitely doing the same thing because it seems like they're really similar power sets.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but since Seth hasn't really had like a cohort, I mean, unless his spring comes from the rock or whatever.
The rock.
Yeah, but he's not with the rock all the time. Like Kaladin is with.
That's true. He's not with the rock all the time, right? No. So I don't know. I got nothing on that, but anyway, I didn't understand what the purpose was.
And I will say nothing.
Of course you will.
I also want to see.
Man,
Kaladin.
finally, in episode 88, Alan started actually breaking out spoilers. Nope.
It's
not gonna happen all of a sudden.
Not tonight.
Not gonna happen today.
Yeah.
So,
I want to see Kaladin just like, if he ever does get to a position where he can actually like kick some ass in a high storm, because I think he would crush it. Like at that point, he would have he would have constant energy. No, like constant stormlight.
Right. Yeah. So he would be like crazy.
He doesn't need to have like the sphere battery packs. Like he gets hooked up right to the source, and I'm like, I think that will be badass if that ever happens.
Might kill everybody else around him, but he'll make it through.
Yeah. Well, maybe he wants to kill all the people around him.
Well, I'm talking about like if he has like bridge mates or something
Buddies.
like that around him.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think
so.
I just had that thought. I was like, that maybe.
This is a tough one for us guys. I'm going to talk about this right now because we need to figure out how to do these next couple of chapters.
Okay.
Because if the way I have it set up now, it's a gigantic. It's in the middle of everything that the breakup is. So like it's right in the middle of everything going on. But there's no good way to. I'm trying to think of like how to do this in a way where, because otherwise it's like super short next week, and then we can do a super long one, or we just do a super long one all together. Or so either we do super long one all the way to the end of the part here. It's gonna be like 8, like how many chapters will it be?
We do only have 4 hours left.
5, 6, 7 chapters.
Oh my god!
Well, it won't be to the end of the book. It'll be the end of the section in this part. But it will be a very, very long read. I'm okay with doing that if you guys want to.
Okay. So if we go to the end of this section, it's like
it will be the longest read.
Yeah, there's a chapter that's 53 minutes, a chapter that's 56 minutes, a chapter that's 54 minutes, 2 20-something minute episodes or chapters in a 17 minutes. So,
right,
that's a lot. But
if I break it up, like let's see, I can do 1, 2, like I can do 2 chapters, but the next 2 chapters are really short.
Yeah, so I guess it is like I guess what I saw was the end.
We just do really short.
So 3 hours.
No, we do really short.
7 minutes left of this part.
We do really short and then do a regular episode. Because the thing is, though, I always read right before. I don't read like the day before or something like that. And that means that I have to read after I get off of work. And I just don't have enough time. Because I try to make sure that I'm as fresh as possible.
It will still be a long episode in 2 weeks if we do 2 this week. But at least we.
And how long will that be?
You look it up real fast.
Okay, so what were you thinking, Alan? Like 3 chapters this
week?
The
next. Well, no, we can't do 3 because the towers next is in there. So.
Oh damn! So we would just do 1 chapter then.
2 chapters: Fear and what's the next one? Fear and
A Man of Extremes.
Okay, so we got 15 minutes, 22 minutes, 26 minutes. 17 minutes. I mean, that's 4 chapters, and that would be fine. But then,
that's what I have it there. But then that splits up that whole entire sequence.
Okay, and then the next 3 chapters.
That's how I have it set up.
Collectively are about
like 3 hours.
Almost.
Right. That's how I have it. I have 4 chapters for next week, but I have 4 next week, and then the last 3, and then 3 for the following week. But that's gonna break up. Like
all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Doing over 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying. Damn you, Brandon Sanderson.
I don't know. Alan,
so we can do it that way. We can just break it up if you guys are okay with breaking it up.
Leave us on a cliffhanger.
I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't have a problem with cliffhanger.
I mean,
so what you're saying is that next week we would do
4.
We just do 4. But then but then the next 3 chapters are pretty long. So are you gonna leave those 3 together still?
Yep. That's how I have it set up now.
So that's the one that I have to make sure I plan around for, because there's no way I could listen to that between getting off of work and getting on. Oh, maybe I could, but I would just have to make sure I plan for it.
4 and 4, right?
It's 4 and 3.
Yeah, 4 and 3.
Because it's 63 through 66, and then 67, 68, 69. And those are 53 minutes, 45 minutes, and 58 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
So that I would have to make sure
it ends on chapter 69.
Mm-hmm.
Wop wop.
You're supposed to say nice. It's 69.
Oh yeah, nice. You're right. Sorry. Listen, I'm tired.
It will be. It won't be.
You're never tired, so you must be working your ass off, Tree.
It won't be the longest. It won't be the longest amount of reading. It won't be the longest amount of reading we've ever done on this podcast. So.
Oh no,
we've done long.
No, I know we have done some like long sections before. I mean, but I'm glad we're talking about it because then I can like plan for it.
Pythos asked for live reaction chapter.
I know it's such a.
Oh, that's a long. So like if we did, so let's say if we did the 4 and then the next episode we just did 2 and then we did live reaction to 69, but that's an hour long though.
I don't know which chapter he wanted the live reaction on.
Oh, the live reaction is going to be Tower.
The Tower.
Yeah, the Tower.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
No kidding. So that's like a short one. That's like 26
Well,
minutes.
the tower, codes, and wards. Those three together is the whole. But yeah, anyway.
Oh, that's why you're trying to put them together. Oh, okay. So now that you're saying it in that context, and I know that they go together, yeah, we probably should do 5 chapters then. That'd be 15 minutes, 22 minutes, 28 minutes, 17 minutes, but then almost an hour on top of that. And then the next episode would be 45 minutes and 56 minutes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the better play. If you're saying they go together, I thought when you were saying they go together, I thought you were talking about 67, 68, 69.
Technically,
we'll do 5 chapters.
So technically, 68 goes with it too, but it's all standalone. 69 is the only thing that's separate. It's
Ashen Eye can be started on its own, I think.
I can.
That's not as bad. I mean, it's not as good. Yeah. It's the whole sand plant, but
definitely wards.
Yeah,
I know. But stopping between codes and wards, I can't do it to you guys.
Okay. Let's do 5.
We'll put them together then.
We'll do
5. And 5. I'm going to plan for it. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yay.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I didn't know we
favorite character. Already. Yeah, we're here already. Favorite character from this episode.
Oh man, I kind of hate that I'm up here for this too, because I'm gone. I might not have enough time to do this either.
To do what?
To do all these chapters.
Did you have earbuds while you're working sawing logs? You can put an earbud in.
We're like I'm right beside the generator. We're using really loud crap. Okay. I don't know if I can do it. Plus, I need to focus so I don't chop a finger off.
Yeah, that too.
I like my fingers. I've grown attached to them over the years.
Well, let us know if we need to take.
We won't know if you lost a finger if you actually wear a safe hand glove.
Yeah, we won't know.
Well, I'll know.
Well, favorite character. Let's go. Let's do favorite character.
Just for you guys, I like them for me too. Yeah. You go first. Favorite character.
No, you keep making me go first. Now you have.
I'll go first.
Yeah, I feel like
I'll go first. A lot of
times I choose a character that you wanted to choose.
I will choose Billy that Kaladin wore in a battle.
Oh no! Oh, Billy the chest plate. Oh, Billy the chest. You know my friend Billy Chestplate? I sure do, man. We grew up in Coney Island, man. We were together. We was eating hot dogs one day. Billy Chestplate was my dude. You know his favorite drink was a rum and coke, but sometimes he put a little gin in it. Crazy Billy Chestplate. That guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
Make a whole backstory for Billy Chestplate.
Poor Billy. I'm gonna pick Navani.
Okay.
See, that's the reason why I let you go first.
Were you
going to choose her? Oh, absolutely. I was going to choose Navani because she put it on him.
Girl, she knows how to get it.
Yeah, look. She put it on him.
I'm being really loud and it's really late. And the baby's sleeping. Oh, no. I'm not used to being in a house with a baby.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a baby. Oh, that's
and
right.
she's right on this. They were up for a while when others sleeping. I get hyped on that. I get so excited to hang out with you guys.
Finally, Billy gets the recognition he deserves.
Exactly. Billy Chestplates. Billy sees. Get it to him. Give it to him.
I'd like to introduce to you Billy C's. Anyway, get by with a little help from my friends. Continue. Ando, what's up?
I mean, again, I was going to choose Navani because she put it on him, but I'll go. Actually.
There's Noadon, there's Dalinar, Adolin.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, Noadon's actually the one I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My backup. Yeah, Noadon's a good one. I mean, because he's conflicted. I mean, he's going through all the things. It's like watching somebody grow into the person they're going to become and seeing them before they became great. And I don't know how many opportunities we're going to have to see him again. So I'll choose him while I can. So I'll say Noadon.
Okay.
Even though it's not his name, but hey, you know.
If it's the same person, because I don't know, I don't trust Dalinar. I think he's the unreliable narrator when he comes to his visions. But if it is the guy that actually wrote the books, he could have been the dad of the guy that wrote the books when he's like, well, you're using my words against me, right? He could have taught that to his son, and that son could have been the one that actually wrote the book.
Yeah, right, because it's a title, so we don't know, you know.
Exactly.
But I'll choose him for now.
Okay. Cool.
Not for now. I mean, I'll choose him for this episode.
Yeah.
Phrase that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I already said we're doing 5 chapters next week. So we're doing Fear,
Yes.
a Man of Extremes, The Tower, Codes, and Wards.
All right.
Oh boy.
Note to self: long read. Next 2 weeks.
It goes by fast. I know it's still the length; it's still the same, but it's just a fun one.
It's still gonna be a long workout, though. I mean, you want to be on the bike for a while. It's not,
Yeah.
I may enjoy listening to what I'm listening to, but I'm still have to exert the amount of energy it takes to get through that long of a read.
You'll give you the adrenaline. This episode's good. So.
Nope.
Okay.
If I get adrenaline, I'll be here on the podcast about to fall asleep. Like I spilled my adrenaline earlier.
Talk about that crash. Remember we talked about that crash? Yeah. So
yes, exactly. You don't want that. You don't want that, people. Yeah.
Yeah, we are 3 weeks away from finishing it because we're gonna do this one, then we have that one, then we're gonna finish the whole book in the following episode.
Oh, the last part is one read?
Yeah, it's a lot short. It's pretty short. It's a lot of chapters, but it's short. They're all short.
Oh wow, okay, gotcha.
It just wraps it.
Well, look, I'm gonna be dead honest, dead ass. I'm gonna be dead honest and say that I better see some amazing stuff happen right now because I feel like it's a lot of repetition with like a lot of like leaked and slowly, a
lot of world building in this book. This book's a lot of world building.
Yeah, and a lot of information is basically just kind of like slowly coming to us, and I'm like, can you please just get us something?
We've got Sandra Lanch coming.
I mean, hell, we got this far. We're still like finding out what the desolation is. I mean, they've been talking about desolation since the beginning of this book. We're finally finding out, desolation means war. Okay, great. I'm like, but I just kind of feel like this. Where's that Monty Python gif where it's like, get on with it? I really want to get on.
Well, next week. All right.
All right.
Get on with it. All right.
Come on, Sanderson. Don't let me down, man. Come on now.
Right.
I feel like that's really like now the standard has been set. Like I'm worried. What if it's not good enough for Orlando?
I've never heard anyone not like the this. But there's a first for every time. I mean, Orlando also doesn't like Tensoon, so I don't.
Yeah, I'm saying right now, and I know you have that YouTube short about me like going off on my Tensoon rant. Stand by it. Stand by it.
This book is almost like a really long prologue to the series. It's true. Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing, and I'm so appreciative of that comment because that's the way I feel about this entire book. This whole book is like the longest mother effing prologue, and I'm like, I get it. Some parts are great. I mean, then there's so many holes, and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of to fill in here.
Yep.
And this better be world building that's like truly going to expand my mind about the Cosmere because right now I'm just not really seeing it.
Yeah.
That comes later, but you'll
there's like glimpses of stuff, especially in the little interludes. There's glimpses of stuff like other lands and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not enough to keep me like really engaged. So I'm kind of like getting to the point where I'm like,
it was like world building, but there was still like 30% of it is plot and build up and foreshadowing.
Yeah.
For what's going to happen.
Sure.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, I hope it will have a good payoff for you, Orlando. We'll see.
Okay. Well, again, I mean, look, I'm committed. It's not like I'm going to be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're stuck now.
You're stuck.
Oh, yeah.
10 years we get you.
So that all being said, though, I'm really hoping this is going to deliver because I felt like Mistborn set a pretty good precedent for like building it, and then the pacing was pretty good. Mm-hmm. The pacing in this is kind of killing me.
Okay.
So I'm just being honest. I really wish you would just pick up a bit more.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff is like, I mean, there are so many chapters. By the way, you guys asked me, I read the chapters from last week. So much of that was like just filler. And I was like, I mean, how many of y'all remember all the things from last week? It's
good point. There's lots of info in there. There's just a lot that you don't know what the fuck it means right now.
There's lots of little sneaky sneakers.
Yeah, there's lots of sneaky stuff.
Of course, and that's the thing. I feel like this is probably one of them reread books.
Yeah.
But right now, as a first time going through it, I'm like, it's a slog. It's
Yeah.
a long.
Mistborn's also like a lot smaller compared to this book, so it's like
Oh,
they have
yes.
to pack more into that. and
Yep.
that's why they can drag it out.
Well, we're gonna take a
There
break.
was a
from-
lot of
we're
action.
taking-
There was a lot of like despair. There was a lot of like conflict and tragedy and stuff. I mean, in this, I feel like there's a bunch of like even in the war stuff, you know, like these like bridge crossings and stuff. I feel like there's even that. It's not enough conflict for me. It's like a lot of despair, but I'm like, it's the same despair. It's like, oh, we're in the bridge crew and we're being downtrodden.
Yeah.
Got it.
You needed a whole book to understand
Understand the level of
deep depths
depression.
of Kaladin's depression. Exactly, Alan. If you didn't let me finish my sentence,
Sorry. We finished each other's
Go, Tree, go.
sandwiches.
Go, Tree, go.
I was getting there. I was just saying,
Yeah,
we are taking like a 6-month break from Stormlight between, so reading other books in between. So,
OT.
Oh, great. So then I have to go back and reread this to remember stuff?
You can just watch the podcast.
Let's watch the.
Oh,
Get
that's
those
right.
views up.
We'll do a quick recap, and you'll get it right away. I mean, it'll be the same as like if you were reading a book and then had to wait a year for the next book to come out, because that's how like a lot of people.
It depends. I mean, like these books, I feel like there's too much stuff that I have to remember that hasn't really been explained well.
Sure, and you'll get glimpses from the other books that we're reading too. So it's
Okay, well, yeah, because this ain't like Harry Potter. Yeah, sure, you had to wait like a couple of years or whatever for a book to come out. Fine, but the concepts weren't really hard to remember because it was like everybody knows about witches. Game of Thrones. Nope. When he puts out, if he ever puts out this next freaking Ice and Fire book, I'm gonna have to go back and reread so much stuff because there's too many characters and stuff. I'm like, I don't remember what from these things.
Yeah.
Like 72 freaking main characters that are actually like carry chapters. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna remember that nonsense.
Exactly.
So,
well, how you can be found is at thecosmoreads.com. It's a website. You can find links to all our cool stuff like merchandise and Patreon and Discord and social media and all that cool stuff. So remember to like, subscribe, all the cool stuff, that cool things. Yeah. So that's all I got really for this week. I mean, there's not much else I got to say besides just buckle up and let's have fun next week. So,
all right. Looking forward to it.
Till next time, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for watching the Cosmere Reads.
Gosh dang, gosh, stay fresh. Gosh dang, gosh, stay fresh.